survive, man.
Oh no! Better cut that last part.
I think you gotta introduce us or something.
Hello, everybody. For those of my High Five with Gage Hartman veterans and those who are watching, you know who's on it right now. We got Alex Kozitza from Building the Dream. He and Matt were my very first guests that I had on, as well as Luke Hansmeyer, travel extraordinaire and local real estate agent. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thanks for having us again.
Good to be back.
Nice.
Been waiting.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of people that came on. They're like, Gage, have me back on, and now you guys are the first return business.
I didn't even ask.
Yeah, that's true. We're doing.
Sorry, everybody else.
We should get to the reason why we're the only first two that are here. Because
it's not because I was invited
to do this. Definitely weren't invited.
So I wanted to do something sort of unique. Again, Joe Rogan does something similar to this, but I wanted to do something kind of unique here, and I'm going to call it, I think, the Dry 30. So I reached out to a handful of people, and I said, I want to do something where I don't drink any alcohol at all for 30 straight days, which is a challenge in and of itself. But on top of that, we think we want to maybe do a couple other challenges just to try to make it more fun. So what we're doing here today is we're podcasting about it. We're going to discuss the rules, the regulations of the challenge. The regulations of the challenge, and yeah, you guys are lucky enough to tune in on it.
Yeah.
So once again, boys, welcome back. What do you have any initial thoughts right now, kind of about heading into this 30-day dry?
I mean, I'm excited. I've done this before, and you do always feel better. I just feel more like clear-headed, focused. I don't know. I'm excited about it. It's just a nice thing to have some discipline and stick with something for a while. So yeah, I always enjoy this.
Okay. What about you, Luke?
Yeah, I've done it before, but I've done it in like streaks where you'll have like a birthday party come up, or you'll have like a work party come up, or it's a holiday. You'll like squeeze in one day, so I can always be like, oh, I'm gonna go 30 days, and something comes up where you go where you sneak one in. So I've never fully gone. I don't know if I've ever gone like a full 30 days where I didn't touch alcohol.
Not a single exception.
Not a single exception, not a single drop. And I think this being like public and doing it with other people is one of those where like you have to do it. Every time I've done it before, it's been like, all right, well, I'm all, I can't sit here and I not have one beer, and then you always sneak one in here or there because you're not going to be around the same group of people that know that. But I don't know. I'm excited to do a cold turkey. No alcohol for 30
No
days.
alcohol at all.
See what happens.
Yeah. There will be times where I'll go periods of time without like binge drinking. So it'll be like a Saturday night and I'll have like 2 beers and watch a movie by myself, and I'm like, this is so adult of me. Like
right. So that's
I'm so proud of me right now.
And then
sometimes.
I go to bed at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Say, even those nights where you just want to have 1 or 2 beers, but going out, like I've got a lot of things going on. I mean, we've got the shower this weekend, and I'm going out to Denver to see my brother. I've got a couple concerts I'm going to in the next month, and it's just going to be all,
You're going to a couple of concerts in the next month?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
and you're going to be sober for them?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what's going to make this one a little bit interesting, because it's it can be completely dry and having to stick to it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's a dry 30. But like I said, I think we should do some things to make it interesting. And Alex was kind of like asking me some questions about what should we do, and I'm like, just let's save it all for the podcast, because now's the time to discuss it, so that everybody who's listening / watching, they have some context as to where we came from in making these decisions. So the first thing that I thought of is that each of us could choose a charity.
Okay.
And I thought we can devote like a certain amount of money to our charity. But then if we drink before the end of the 30, rather than donating to our charity, we have to donate to the other people's charities.
Okay.
Does that sound?
Yeah.
Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So then if everybody makes it and doesn't drink, then rather than like, haha, I don't get to donate to any charity, like you still do. You just do to the one that you prefer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I like that. It gives you a little bit of accountability there.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you stick with it. No, I'm up for that.
Do you guys have any idea of what charity you would choose?
Yeah.
Who would you choose as a
Yeah, I'm
charity?
going to choose the...
This is gonna make me look like a bad person. No, I didn't
don't
think
know, a
about this.
single one.
Well, I
Pick one
know.
of the
I'm
big,
just
pick one of the main ones.
Like
March
nonprofit,
Dimes.
charity, panhandlers,
Panhandlers, yeah.
I want you guys to go give dollar bills.
the Panhandler Union of America, PHUA,
The Pooh.
the Pujas.
Should we probably address the fact that we're drinking here right now?
Holy
Yeah,
smokes, we
I
didn't
mean,
even
let's
talk
probably
about it.
address the,
Yeah, by the way,
three
we're
elephants in the room here.
we're literally drinking right now, talking about how great we are.
We're not
not
drinking.
drinking. These are our last beers, by the way. This is, I
Last
mean,
one.
I kind of brought up the idea, and at first
No,
these two
look
were
at
like,
No, he
we were
brought
to-
up the idea and he ran with the idea. He ran upstairs actually and grabbed the beers. And
We were
brought
totally
it back down
against it,
here.
and he forced us, forced it on us.
I just think that you'll be so glad that you had this. Like 24 days from now, you'll be like, glad I had that last little sippy sip.
Yeah.
So who's your charity that you're thinking?
Best Christmas ever.
The BCE?
BCE, yeah.
Okay. And Alex, you said you don't really know.
Yeah, I'm gonna think on it. I want to find a unique charity to
Not,
donate to.
not the Pujas.
Not the Puhas.
Who has, yeah. Giving them enough money. How about you, Gage?
I think I'm gonna do. Lifehouse,
Why
that
Lifehouse?
nonprofit in Duluth here.
Yeah.
Is that, that's the one they
they
give like
just-
backpacks and stuff to. Is that
They
the
might
one, or
give
is it-
backpacks, but they take in
think they-
homeless kids.
I think they just built a new
Okay.
building.
They did.
I have the-
Yep, they had a grand opening of it
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Yep.
really cool.
I think they do a lot of good for the homeless youth in Duluth.
Yeah,
So they're my charity of choice.
that's a great organization. So anybody that's watching, if you see Gage engaging in any drinking of any kind, please let us know.
or even
I
if
would
you-
I would love nothing more than to watch him write a fat check out to the Duluth Lifehouse.
Well, no, if I
Association.
drink, then Lifehouse doesn't get any money.
Oh, well then who?
So if you see Luke Hansmeyer, I'll buy him a shot.
Oh, so if I drink, then
Yeah.
I okay.
So how
then you pay for it.
unless you
Okay,
want to,
I'll-
if
yeah.
you want to restructure it, we can. I mean, that's why we're doing this right now. But I'm just saying, like, so I'd say I choose Lifehouse and you choose.
'Cause you still have to donate even at the end of it.
You have to donate no matter what.
Right.
But the only thing that might change is who you donate to.
I think
So
the amount should
if
change.
you two both
I think
drink,
that you should donate a certain amount to your charity at the end of this. And then I think that if you mess up, it should double the amount and you should have to pay the charity.
oh really?
Okay.
So you have
You
to
should-
pay.
Okay, so you get
Or no,
punished.
it should double up because you should have to pay both the other ones.
Yeah.
So it would triple.
So what are we gonna say, $100?
So $100, and then if you drink,
So then if-
you
yeah.
end up paying $300
Yes.
because
then
you have
if
to
you
pay
get
the
caught
other
drinking,
people's
you're gonna pay
charities.
$100 to Best Christmas Ever,
Oh.
and then $100 to
I like that.
what is it?
The Puhas.
The Puha.
The Puha.
So that's what you would do. So you'd go $100. And then at
His
the end-
interim charity.
right. And
They're gonna be
then-
so mad when they see this and they don't get any money.
Some Pujas is like, we finally got our break, and they laugh at us.
finally getting recognized.
Yeah, no, I like that. So if you drink, it could cost you $300, but regardless, you're paying $100 in towards the charity of your choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. So that's kind of the first thing. But the next one, which I think we have a little bit more creative freedom with, is I think it's any kind of challenge that might promote us doing anything that's good for our health, mental health, which means mental health, physical health, financial health, anything like that. Any kind of challenge. Alex, did you think of anything?
I was like, yeah, I kept like bouncing around the idea of like health. That's the big thing that came to mind because first of
Yeah.
all, I work in that industry and then I'm surrounded by it. My initial one that I had mentioned is like, maybe I don't know if you guys would be up for this, but like running a mile, like see if that increases.
Absolutely
so,
not.
Yeah, that's what I. That's what
I'll
I
stop
was
you
worried
right there.
about. Yeah, so-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
what else? I want it to be like something that you can measure,
Yeah.
so
Well-
you can see the difference over the course of 30 days.
I mean, you could run if you want to.
I guess.
If you want to get up to running a
we
mile,
all need to do the same thing, though. It can't be like Alex
Right.
is running and we're like biking a mile or something like that.
Right.
But we could do like body fat percentage, and
Okay.
then like whoever loses like that amount relative to their percent or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, that's
so
simple because that kind of encompasses.
That's an idea.
Any form of health and working.
Yeah,
out.
it's you. I mean, you can choose, but at the end of the day, like let's say someone loses 10% of their body fat, then that person would, I don't know, win. I guess. You know what I mean?
We'll give that person a case of beer in a month.
Yeah, and then they'll go back up.
Exactly. They'll be
Knock you right off your wagon.
Luke, what do you think? You got
That's
any?
the
You have any suggestions for challenges?
No, not offhand. This was all thrown on me.
This was thrown at you, yeah. Pretty short notice.
Yeah. None that are worth talking about on air.
Nice. Well, I mean, I kind of.
No, I like the body fat one. That's a simple one that just means be healthy for a month.
Yeah. Well, it helps. I think it'll help you make better decisions, like in other parts of your life too. Like
Oh, yeah,
you know,
like
maybe
eating
you'll eat cleaner or
be sure to exercise.
Right.
I think that one's good. And then I thought of maybe doing another one where everybody has to start like a new hobby.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Okay.
So like I would, like for myself, I thought, okay, maybe I'll take like boxing classes for the next 30 days. Or like you can take violin, or you can learn how to do sign
Crochet.
language. Like, yeah, paper crochet.
So you're gonna say
Anything
I
that-
know
Hold on,
say
Gage just said
they're
paper
two different
crochet.
things, a hobby and a skill. I mean, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, something that I guess it furthers you in any way. So like you're not taking.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know what a good example of a lesson you might take that would.
Like
Worse.
starting to learn a new language or.
Yeah,
Something
like
like that. Like, you gotta come back
like
here
Luke
and-
comes back and he speaks fluent Mandarin.
In a month?
Yeah, in a month.
That would be absolutely incredible.
When Gage comes back and plays the violin.
Yeah, exactly. I come back and I
Breaks it
do
down.
Beethoven's Fifth on a Casio or whatever. So I think that, but the trouble with that one is it's difficult to turn it into an actual challenge. Because let's say
Yeah.
we each learn a new skill. It's like, all right, so what are we gonna do? Like, you're gonna play the piano against me
Yeah,
boxing.
Yeah, right. But I don't necessarily know that
Or just-
it has to be a challenge.
You don't.
That's
yeah,
true.
at
I think
that
The
some of
point-
drinking thing of it is already
I
a
think some
challenge.
of the things is the challenge in it is competing it. I mean, if we came back here and Alex says, hey, I can play the piano, and you say I learned how to throw a 1-2 combo followed up with an uppercut.
Nice.
I think the goal is accomplished. I don't know
Yeah.
that it needs to be you
Yeah.
did it better. I'm still in that situation would definitely say you did it better learning how to box over the
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's
Yeah.
subjective
No, I would-
though.
That's pretty subjective, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna defer to
Yeah.
boxing
It's
training.
just kind of like the whole point of the whole point of the dry 30 is like 30 days no drinking, but then you're doing.
Something
we're trying
else
to do
productive
things
on-
to
on
like. So
top
when
of
you
that.
finish the 30 days, you're like, I am a more improved human being than I was before the 30.
Well, I think, it's nice to mix it up. So I think if you're doing a dry 30, you should try to add something in there, right? So if you're going to say you're going to go 30 days without, drinking or smoking or watching TV or any of those things. I think it's really good then to counteract that and say that you're going to go 30 days where you're going to do something, where in your case it would be boxing. And
Yeah.
I guess I haven't figured out a hobby or a skill yet to fill in that time, but
Well, if
Kinda
we only have 30 days, we got to get that figured out. Probably.
Right.
We don't have much time.
I figured out
We
by the
have
end
no
of this
time.
podcast.
No time.
Yeah.
We have to.
like
we
we
have to,
have to like start making phone calls tomorrow.
I mean, it has to be something that I started today already.
How soon can I get in? Yeah, how soon can I get in for harmonica lessons? Casey, what would you learn if? What would be your thing that you'd do?
Piano?
Piano.
Well, like, I already knew how to play piano, but like go back to playing.
Casey would
Oh,
go
that's-
back to playing piano.
Okay.
Okay. Learn how to play like the Freebird solo or something like that.
Yeah, or any Elton John song.
Okay. Nice. Casey, are we all sounding clear on the mics right now? We were concerned about technical difficulties when we
think
started.
so.
You can hear
It's
like.
hard to say because when I listen to the headphones, I still hear you on the outside.
Oh
But
yeah.
I look at the levels, it looks like we're good.
Okay. Cool. I just wanted to make
Casey
sure.
wants to learn how to use audio equipment in 30 days.
We had some technical difficulties.
Casey the wizard
starting.
back there.
Yeah, Casey the wizard. Casey, you want to do dry 30 with us?
No.
No.
Casey
oh,
says no.
Man. Yeah, that didn't take.
Casey's
Didn't take
not
not a bit.
So.
I told you, I did 16 days of sober.
Yeah, you and I both did, and we broke on last week's podcast. Millie forced us to drink bush lattes.
It made me a worse human being. I was stressed. I was aggravated.
Being sober?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
but sometimes that's the way, I mean,
That's
you
life,
use that
man.
same excuse for something we were talking about earlier, and if you use the same excuse that you're more miserable when you're off something, like nobody would end any addiction if they use that excuse. You'd be like, I mean, I can't quit this because I'm going to
This Jurassic Park ringtone?
It's not a Jurassic Park. It's the one that came with the phone.
Do you know how
It's
to
a
play the
Samsung.
piano?
Right? I'm already learning down here. No, I think that if...
I get what you're saying, though.
lost my
Like,
complete train of thought.
if you thought like quitting a substance would give you anxiety
right,
or something like
if you were
that.
like, you hear about like people that quit like heroin or opioids, and they have like these, you know, complete bodies breaking down, and they have
Yeah.
diarrhea, and they're sicker than
Oh,
they've
yeah.
ever felt.
Turns
I
out
mean,
heroin
with
is the
that
best thing that ever happened to me.
With that mindset, you turn around and be like, well, I'm just never going to quit anything. So
Yeah. No, I totally
essentially
agree.
what I'm saying is that your answer's crap, okay?
I will say in that 16 days that I told Case this too, I had trouble sleeping in that 16 days.
I mean-
and it might be because, like you said, I've been drinking semi-consistently since I was like
Yeah,
16
I think
years
that's
old.
more of a like if you quit doing anything and then you're not able to sleep or function without it, that means that was probably a problem in your life. And it could be something as simple as like coffee. If you're like when people tell me that like all the time, it's normal to be
I
addicted.
can't-
It's
yeah, I
normal
can't
to be addicted
live
to
without
coffee, and
it.
It
you know,
says it
I
on the
see
mugs.
I see all drugs and all that is very, very, you know, it's similar to me. It's all the same. It's just called
Yeah.
something different, and it has different perceptions and what's different socially acceptable to me. But I always just find that crazy people can walk around and be like, I can't even function in the morning.
Don't even
unless I have
talk to me
coffee."
until I have. I hate people that say that crap.
I know they say that. I'm like, you know, that's an addiction. That's as much of an addiction as anything else in here. It's just that it's okay because it's coffee.
Yeah.
And people laugh about it. You know, even today, this morning, there's a high school kid that was at a Rotary, and he showed up with his own coffee, and I said, it's kind of goofball shows up with their own coffee. You're 17. He goes, I don't go a single morning without coffee. I can't even do math in the morning without
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, you're 17.
Right.
I mean, come on.
I don't think you need it then, because I remember drinking coffee in high school, but it was never because I needed it. It was because I wanted to look cool.
Cool,
I
yeah.
wanted to look like an
I
adult.
think
It's like
there's
a
people
habit
that
thing,
need
too.
it. It's
Yeah.
just,
You get
it's
so
a
used to
stimulant
it.
for your brain. It stimulates your brain. It gives you.
It never really
gives you
stimulates me though.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
How,
Maybe I don't
how,
drink enough.
how often do you drink
You're not supposed to
caffeine?
drink the decaf stuff. You gotta drink the stuff with caffeine.
Would you say? Would you say daily?
Probably daily.
Okay,
But
but
maybe
it
if
doesn't stimulate you.
I don't feel it as much in coffee, but I like those Bang energy drinks that have like the
Oh, boy.
BCAAs
Okay.
Yeah.
and the creatine in them.
So could you go 30 days without doing one of those?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but still you have them every day.
Would you have
Not
aches?
every
Would you
day,
would
but
you
I have them
trouble
probably
sleeping?
3 times a week.
Would you get the shakes?
Nope. Nope. It is crazy
to
though how
caffeine
like
rehab?
coffee is. It's so socially accepted. Like you can go up to your boss and be like, "Don't even talk to me. I haven't had my coffee yet." Could you imagine if some dude's like, "Don't even talk to me. I haven't hit the bong yet this morning."
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, and then it
crazy.
straps on a gas mask bong in his office and just.
it's crazy. You drive by a Starbucks, and you see cars wrapped around the block, and everybody's waiting in line and waiting there and get their,
Oh,
Yeah.
everybody's
get
like
their
got
$7
their eyes are
coffee.
half
Yeah.
closed.
Yeah, exactly. Or they do the espresso, which would be like the I don't even like the oil version of. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
different versions. Yeah.
Yeah, I had 6 of those and I walked up a wall.
You know, teach their own.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But I think with anything, if you can't function without it, then it's
Yeah, you shouldn't have any
It's
kind of
probably
crutch.
negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
And I
You're
can't
not,
think
you're
of
not,
anything,
you're not
but
born that way.
I'm sure there's something in my life that if I didn't have it,
Yeah,
or don't
it just
have
becomes
then-
habitual, so it's tough to shake. You could turn anything into a habit.
Right.
I don't even know what a good
Well, like,
example.
people like-
picking scabs. Like if you picked a scab every morning, and all of a sudden you're like, "Don't even talk to me before I pick my scab."
Well, I mean, it's,
If you see scab on me, just shut up, because I gotta pick it. That's
Yeah.
a terrible example.
that's a bad habit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Or like pulling out an eyelash every single morning.
I
You
think
pull an
there's a
eyelash
difference
out.
between habits and addictions, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't like
I
get
don't
out of
know
bed in the morning
necessarily
without
what
picking a scab, you're
Yeah.
a crazy person.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you definitely are a crazy person if that's true.
No,
But-
but it's all habitual stuff though. Like you just get so used, you get stuck in that
Yeah.
that habit. Like you're not born drinking coffee. Most people probably don't have a cup of coffee until they're I don't know,
Teenagers,
what's- yeah,
late
what's- what's-
teens,
yeah, what's,
early
like, a
20s
reasonable
maybe.
age?
it's like I was
15,
listening
20?
to one guy and he was talking and he said, you know, coffee is highly addictive, and somebody countered back and said, that's not true. It's not that addictive. He said, you're not prone to like the taste of it. He goes, I love the taste of it. He goes, why is it next to every single coffee? Is there creamer, sugar, honey, all this stuff? It's like a perfect thing when you go in there. You're like, oh, right. That's why people, that's how you know that it's something that people, naturally don't like, is that they have to mix in all this crap in it and put cream in it, put this in it.
Those are the worst kind of people. Like, don't even talk to me until I have my coffee. And they put in a splash of coffee and then like 10 pounds of milk and sugar. Yeah, exactly. They're basically just eating a gingerbread house in a cup. But that's what I am. I don't think people like crab or lobster either, because they literally they soak it in butter. They're like, I love crab. And I'm like, can you eat it without butter? Like, no, I don't like it without butter. I'm like, that's crap.
So
I'm like, that's literally crap. It just tastes like, but you like butter.
Yeah.
Like, just say what it is.
Said that. We were talking about that. What is it? What are they? The cockroaches of the ocean. Cockroaches of the sea.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
No, they're bottom feeders.
Bottom feeders. They have a hard shell. That's what if you look at them closely, it looks like a big cockroach. And ever since somebody told me that, I've never been able to look at it.
I don't like crab and I don't like lobster, but I do like shrimp. I will say that. I don't like the jumbo shrimp. It's too much. I don't want that much of it.
But that's the same way too. People say they love shrimp. Nobody ever just eats shrimp. They have to douse it in
cocktail sauce
or put it in Alfredo or something. Like, you never just eat it because it's not that good.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. What were we talking about? The challenge, the second challenge thing?
What we were
starting something.
And then so I had a third idea that I thought would be kind of interesting, and we'll see.
Full of ideas.
What you think of it?
Yeah. Well, he thought about this. This is his idea, so he's got all the time.
I should be loaded with ideas. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd be a loser. No. So here's the third idea is that so 30 days from now, which is when our little thing ends. Starting now, then essentially we would need to start a business, and whosever business has made most money after the 30 days is up is the winner. Wow. And what do you get when you win? I don't know. Maybe a T-shirt or like a trophy. We can figure that out during the 30 days.
Okay, so I gotta start a business
it can be anything.
And I can't drink.
It can be Luke's lawn care, Luke's snowplow.
That's ridiculous.
It could be literally anything. It doesn't have to be. I mean, you might win by making $36. Like, it's 30 days.
Okay, but you'd have to put in way more. I don't know. Way more regulations in it than just that. Because what's a business, and what do you?
Anything is a business.
Anything
it's got to make money, and it's not. We're not counting revenue. We're counting net profit.
Okay.
What? Okay.
You could start. I mean, you could start a bit like Gary Vaynerchuk does. You could go to garage sales
and buy stuff,
and then flip that.
That's not a business.
Yeah, it is.
It's definitely.
It's a business plan.
It's just
you buy a product and then you sell it for more than you bought it for.
So you're telling me that if in the next 30 days
Amazon.com.
you could buy something and sell something and be like, that's my business, and then
if you flip something and you make money on
lawnmower,
but that's okay. So what you'd say is essentially the goal is to see who can make the most money in 30 days outside of their regular income.
Right.
It's definitely not starting a business is any of the stuff that Gary Vee does.
Well, it's a business, really. I mean, I can.
So what do you think?
Well, that's cool. That seems completely.
It can
cool
be a service. You can be flipping products. You can be creating products.
Just when somebody says, "Well, you got to start a business in 30 days," I'm thinking like.
You gotta generate revenue.
Listen, I don't expect you to launch Yahoo.com all of a sudden or anything like that. I'm just saying
a little bit easier, sure.
You could start a business helping people's groceries from the grocery store to their car.
That's making money. I think that's differently than classify. I wouldn't classify that as starting a business. That's where you threw me off. Like flipping something or going out and cutting somebody's lawn or going in, who knows, maybe we'll be shoveling snow in a week here. You could go out and do something like that. That's making money. I don't see that as, hey, he started a business. He went and shoveled his neighbor's driveway.
That's a business. People live off of that. What are you trying to say about the guys that plow roads? Are you saying that their job isn't even a job?
If they're just going and doing it, I'd be like, yeah, he's an entrepreneur. He's a hustler. He's making money. I wouldn't be like, he has a business. I'd be like, no.
Heck yeah.
Okay, I guess we have a different definition of what a business is. When I think of a business, I think of like.
But you get the idea, right?
I get that idea. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
So that's the
Okay.
idea.
Okay.
As long as we all are on the same page with that idea.
Yeah.
But I think there needs to be like some consistency.
Can Alex go out with his sign in the Panhandlers Union and just ask
Yeah,
for money? Just ask for money
the
for
poo-poos
30
or
days?
whatever.
The Panhandlers Union of America.
I mean, if I make $36 and I beat you guys,
Yeah,
I will donate to
that's
the
a
pool.
business. You can go panhandle, but I think there needs to be like some consistency. So you can't just all of a sudden sell everything in your garage and then go mow somebody's lawn and put that under a single umbrella. You need to be able to justify that it's like under a single umbrella of like business. So if your business is you literally just selling things in
Does it
your
have to be
house
legal?
on Craigslist. Well, we're probably going to talk about it on a future podcast. So it doesn't necessarily need to be legal, but it needs to be something that you're comfortable with talking about.
Comfortable
Otherwise,
open up in front
you're
of
not
everybody.
going to win.
Luke's got like a prostitution ring.
Yeah, right. Luke's gonna be like, I made $1,200. We're like, what'd you do? He'd be like, I'd rather not say. Like,
That'll
okay.
go over well in court while I'm standing there. Listen, it's this goddamn Dry 30 challenge. Watch the podcast, High Five podcast. Check it out. It's all there. It was just a game.
And Luke's in here and incriminating himself.
I really wanted to win. Okay, I just.
Yeah.
30 days from now, it's just you and I here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one way to win the Dry 30 challenge is get the
other person
editors
arrested?
Arrested, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
How are you going to donate to charity when you're in jail?
Yeah. This went horribly wrong, guys. Listen.
You know what's wild though? I remember reading about a class one time where a professor made a group of students, or he split them up all into groups and had them do like a similar challenge. It was like go out and make as much money as you can. The
Right.
ones that they give them like $500 and whatever they didn't spend they could add to their revenue. Somebody would probably use this idea, so I'll throw it out here already anyway. But they would go into like busy restaurants. And they would take a number or like those little, now you have those little things that buzz when you're in line. They would
Right.
take those and they would hold on to them, and then when people got there, they would sell them. So like if they're, let's say they're fourth in line and there's a line of 25 people, they would hold on to those things, and then as people walked in the door, they would say, hey, for $50, we'll give you fourth place.
Right.
Oh,
Didn't
wow.
cost them a penny. And they made like a ridiculous amount of money in like the
There's
course of a
people
week.
that do that in, probably not here in Duluth, but in bigger cities that'll wait outside of stores.
And then
for
sell
all of the
their
new-
spot.
Yeah, when they'll buy the items too, but you can have people that'll wait in line for you, whether it's.
Well, and this is at like
great.
restaurants.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of doing it, I guess, if you.
But like there's so many things you could do.
Yeah, no, that's
Possible
it.
endless.
It could be literally anything.
Yeah.
I mean, so what do you think about that? Like versus some of the other.
I'm in.
We're really loading our plate up here, but yeah, why not?
Well, we're not
Let's
going to
go.
do all of them. Like, we're not going to do a hobby and body fat percentage and a business. We flat out just wouldn't have time.
I'd just be curious to see like what changes. Like, when I do this, when I like don't drink for a month, I eat cleaner. Just habit, because usually if I
Yeah.
go to a bar, I'm getting like a burger or pizza
Oh,
or some
yeah.
garbage.
Yeah. And then you're asking the Uber driver if you can crush
Pull
McDonald's. on the
pull
way
over at
home.
Domino's.
And then you get home and you're
I'm
like,
going with
yeah,
old
sure, I'll
pizza."
eat that too.
Sure.
Pizza from last week that's been sitting on the counter.
Yeah.
So I'd just be curious to see, like, after 30 days, what the body fat percentage would be at.
What do you think, Luke? What's most enticing to you of those three options?
I like the making money. That seems
Yeah. The
enticing,
business
but
one?
I like it with more stipulations on it than just.
Okay, so
flip
what?
something.
Well, tell
I
me
don't
about the
know.
stipulations.
I don't know.
That's why we're here on the podcast.
I like the idea of actually trying to start an actual business from the ground up.
And not just
I
throwing it
think-
away
yeah,
after
I think
30
that-
days.
I think that could be kind of fun, but I don't know if 30 days is enough time. but
See,
I
and
think
that's
you
just that you have 30 days. So it's
I
not.
think you could, because I think, it probably wouldn't be a very good business, and you probably wouldn't make a lot of money, but.
Well, it doesn't matter. Like you
I
said, you
think-
can do
I bet if you make
$36.
$1,000, you probably win the contest.
I would hope so. That's a lot to start a business and make $1,000
and
a month.
mainly because you need to think up
But I
the
think
business
that-
like tomorrow.
I think that would make for a pretty cool story. I think if you could do it. I think if you
Yeah.
actually built a business from the ground up. There was that show.
I think that would
was
get this
just out,
podcast on the news.
It was called what was it? Undercover Billionaire. And it was a dude. the mortgage guy, something Stearns.
Howard.
He did Brian Stearns.
Oh.
He went to wait, was that it? Is it Howard?
Howard
No.
Stern.
He's a radio talk show
No,
host.
not that Howard Stern.
Oh,
Stearns.
oh, the other.
Stearns.
The other
mortgage.
Howard.
Anyway, he's a billionaire, and he went into a town and built a business from the ground up. And he had like 100 days to do it, and didn't have any money.
That's triple what we have.
I mean, it was like a full-on restaurant and things like that. But I think the idea of it, like going in, if you had surround yourself by the right people, and if you know people in a community, and you get with the right people, I think you could create an income-producing business in that short a time. I don't know that it would be a very good business, but I think you could. I've always looked back and thought, like, what if you did just like start up a company like a janitorial company or a lawn care company, like you said. I started a lawn care company when I was 18 years old, and it was run horribly, and we hardly made any money, enough money to go out and drink every night pretty much. But I always wonder, looking back on it, like, okay, if I would have done that, at this stage of my life.
If you'd have stuck with it?
Not if I would have stuck with it, if I would have started right now. Just based on what I know and the amount of money I have now, like, we were going to garage sales and buying lawnmowers and be like, oh, this one works, let's use this one. Like, right now, if I were to start a lawn care company, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to go buy a really nice mower, I'm going to go hire some really good guys.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go buy a boat.
I could, I'm just saying, with like my resources now and the people that I know in town, I could start a business with a lot easier than what I could have back then when I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anything. I didn't have any money. I just think that right now, if you were like, hey, you got 30 days to start a business that produces profit.
Well, you don't even have 30 days. You have 1 day. Like, you have 0 days, and then that business needs to become profitable in 30 days.
Not
So wait, are we starting
necessarily.
that? Are we starting that today?
Because you could.
Like, would that be
'cause you could-
tomorrow?
you
Go
could
that
figure-
30
you
days
could
or go
start your
after the
business.
30 days?
You could start your business 2 weeks from now, and if you work fast enough, I mean, you could. I don't know if you would ever get to a point where you're producing income, but
I
you could get it
suppose.
to the point that.
But, I mean, we have until the podcast here until we finish.
Right.
So whenever we can drink, that's when
That's when you start, or that's when it's over?
it's over.
Oh, okay. So we just start
I'm
tomorrow.
going to start a
We start
business
tomorrow,
reselling liquor.
or, I
and
mean,
at that,
technically, tonight.
At that next podcast, when you can finally drink again, I'm just going to sell you a case of beer for.
Yeah,
I think
$20
Gage is down $24,
$75.
and Luke makes that's the difference maker right there.
I'm an alcohol reseller.
Casey,
I
what
know
would your
you
business be if you
I
had to
know
start
you
one
two
right?
haven't drank in a month. Here you go.
What would my business be?
Yeah.
My roommates just started up a hat company, so I'd hop on that business.
Is that the hat you're wearing right now? No, okay.
Casey's roommates just
You want
started a
me to
hat
give
company.
them that they're making?
Well, I mean, that could be something good, but my concern with that is you need to order stock of hats, and that can take 2, maybe even 3 weeks.
True.
So then you then have 8 days or 9 days
You gotta make a lot of
to
pre-sales.
sell all of your.
Well, so what they're doing is they're making a hat that's also a neck warmer. So they think they're like these genius people.
So like a burglary mask,
It's like this, but they just get rid of
and
the
it's got
chin.
holes on the eyes.
Like it's like a neck warmer that has a zip tie, or like a pull.
Oh, so you
tie.
can choke yourself.
So like you pull it tight on top
Oh,
of
it's
the
on-
overhead, and then you pull it down when you want a neck warmer.
Oh, okay.
All right. Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
No,
but-
that's a fair idea. I might wear that.
So you can't wear it at the same time though. You've either got to
No.
have it on your neck
You
or
either
on your
have a
head.
neck warmer or you have.
So it's like your
Oh,
hat you have
really?
on now,
Okay.
but it just has a hole in the top.
I kind of like having the
So you
option
can
of
just
both.
pull it down.
Mhm.
Well, there
I
you
think
go.
they
You
should
buy
make it
one.
where you can do both.
That's what you just said.
So like it's like
No,
a
at the
hat,
same time,
and then
though.
it's got like
You
a
could-
back that
I
like
mean, they
moves
do
around.
have that at the same time, kind of.
You just have two of them.
That's like a burglary mask.
Or like a bottle.
Yeah, about
What would,
balaclava.
what would your
balaclava.
business be? Your 30-day.
I don't know, and if I did know, I'm not really sure that I'd like to say it out loud on the podcast
That's-
right
so
now.
I just stepped up for a second. As we were sitting here, I thought of my idea and I went and wrote it down in my phone so I remember it. And I'm gonna kick the shit out of both of you.
Well,
too.
we don't even know for sure if we're going to be doing that. or
Well,
not.
I'm gonna
think-
do it. I'm gonna do it regardless. I'm gonna do it
Casey,
You know
of
what?
those 3
You wanna
options
play that
between
game? I'll play that
body
game.
fat
Yeah.
percentage competition, starting a hobby, or starting a business, what do you think would be most interesting?
Business.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is the most. It is
30
the most
30
interesting.
I agree.
Yes.
I think that is the most interesting. Yeah. So what's the?
You really gotta grind. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is gonna be probably the most progressive 30 days of my entire life. We won't even have time to drink because we're
be
gonna be
gone
busy
for, like,
starting
so
profitable
busy.
businesses. Oh man, you're yeah. I'd be nervous if I were you
Do you
then.
count your new podcast as a business?
If it makes money, which right now we don't.
Wait, like this
It
podcast?
costs me money.
There's no way you can count this.
No,
Well,
you can't.
for
It needs
sure.
to. It can't be something that's premeditated at all. So it can't be like I've been working on this business for the last year and a half. Now is my opportunity to jump into it. Like it's got to be like you think of it now.
So you're saying what you're saying is that I cannot go out and use Building the Dream, where we interview business
No.
owners, entrepreneurs, people who work for themselves, and we
Shut
just
up.
let them talk about their stories. You're saying I can't use that?
Cut it out, Casey. Unless they paying us.
Yeah, no free ads.
Yeah, no free ads. No, it's it can't be like so. Yeah, I can't like all of a sudden start monetizing my podcast in some way. Like
Yeah.
it needs to be. I mean, it might like if it's been something that's been on your mind for the last year and a half, you can't prove to me that you didn't just think of it. So that's fine.
Right.
But it's like, yeah. What do you think, Luke?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're down? You're down for that?
I feel like we could do that and body fat percentage because they're not.
Both of them?
Well, it's not really like they're not conflicting. Like I said, I would just be curious to know what the difference is. I mean, is starting this business gonna like hinder your body fat percentage?
I think I might get chubbier the more businesses I start.
Look, Donald Trump. Pretty big. Oh man, I probably can't throw a political name. Can I?
No, you can.
Okay.
We've talked about way worse things on here.
That's true.
The most blowback by far that I've got on any podcast is the solo one that I did when I talked about religious stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't ever
Oh
go there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did go there.
It's crazy. I always think that's funny. Like, there's people you could sit there and you could.
Be sure you're speaking loud enough so that your microphone.
No, it is. No, I think it's
Okay.
funny.
Stop
You can
it.
say whatever you want about anything, just about.
Oh, yeah.
except religion. It's always the one. And
Yeah.
you can a little bit, but even if you watch like comedians or on TV, people are very, very. They
They
tiptoe
dance around it.
And
Yeah.
then even from a podcast, even like from the stuff I've seen on your podcast, it's amazing to me. That's where you'll get the most. fun
Yeah,
from.
and that was definitely it. I had people that were just like, but it's just crazy that, like you said, you can talk about like politics on like whether or not to support like people who are living on the streets, but the instant that you say that you don't believe that a human being walked on water, all of a sudden you are just
People get really upset.
people are like,
and I
do you have any idea what you're doing? You
For a
seriously
long
don't
time.
believe somebody parted the seas with their hands? You're an idiot.
It's funny.
What are you doing? You're digging yourself a bigger hole.
I'm like, do you
Right now he is,
actually?
yeah.
I'm
That's how
purposely doing it because
Okay.
it's crazy to me that people think that like these things happened.
All you said that was like you weren't sure about heaven. That's all you said. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think that would make anyone mad.
So I went like, and you know me, I get into a lot of confrontational conversations
Yeah.
on a regular basis, and religion was one that I would never hit because I just for years I was a believer until I was in my mid-20s. I was an atheist, and it was one thing I could just never have that conversation about. I could be sitting around with guys, and we'd be, smoking weed, partying, doing whatever, talking about who knows whatever, and I'd be like, I don't believe in God. And if the room would clear out, people would be like,
Oh yeah.
what you mean you don't
You
believe in
shot
God,
a
man?
gun.
Hold on. And they just, it didn't matter what the situation was, I've had people chew me out from every walk of life, whether they've,
Yeah.
I won't even go into people's background that look at me like I'm just this terrible person because I don't believe in it. So I've always kept it down and would just play along with this game of like, oh yeah, God bless it. And then finally I hit a point where I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to start telling
Right.
people. If they ask me, I'll tell them. So I never bring it up. And usually if
Right.
people will say something to me, then I'll counter back and be like, no, I don't believe in that. And most people are just like, okay, cool. But it happens all the time, at least. I would say about once every few months where somebody will get really heated. I've actually made
People
people
get
cry. I was in a bar. I was at
You made people cry.
yeah, I was at Blackwater one night. This lady came up to me and she said, I know your mom. And I said, oh, she says, I see her at church all the time. Why don't you ever go? And I go, oh, I'm not a believer. And I don't even know why it just came out.
You could have said anything else.
Yeah,
I
you
said
could've
anything
said
else.
anything.
And I go, I don't believe in it.
I
And
stub
next
my
thing-
toe every
I don't
Sunday.
know what happened. I don't remember what else was all said, but next thing you know, she was bawling her eyes out. And her friend was like, all right, let's go. And then she came back in and she's like, it's really emotional time. Her mother just passed or something like that. And I was like, whatever, I'm sorry,
Right.
And then literally, it was like a month and a half later, I was at a friend's house, and it was the same thing where her mom had a friend over, and her mom's like, oh, you got to believe in God, don't you? I said, nope. She goes, what happens if you die? I go, I don't, what happens before
Yeah.
you die?
How should I know?
I just said, I don't know. I said, I don't really want to think about it. She said, you just wait till somebody you care about dies and you'll know. And I go, well, I've had many of people I care about die.
Yeah.
She goes, well, maybe not, because if you knew somebody you cared about died, you would know that there's a God. And I go, that makes no sense.
I feel like she's arguing against her by saying that.
I don't know. Either way, she started bawling her eyes out, and it was really awkward because it was like a friend of mine's mom's best friend. And I'm just sitting there, and they're like, what did you do? And I was like, I just said I didn't believe. Like, did I say something wrong here?
Yeah.
And, like, people, like, it was just the most awkward thing ever. And so I've been in this was like 3 or 4 years ago now, and I've been in situations where I'll just be like, yeah, I believe. Because some people just can't handle that, that you don't believe what they believe. They can't take it.
A popular comeback for that is like, well, if you don't follow the Bible, then what is your moral compass? How am I to believe that you are a moral person because you don't believe in the Bible? But like I heard Joe Rogan had Brian Dawkins, I think was his name, on his podcast recently, and he's like notorious for being an atheist and like not believing that. And his explanation of it I thought was really interesting. And he said, seriously, you need to believe in the Bible to have a good moral compass. He's like, have you any idea the things that Christians have done over their period of being Christians? He said, Abraham Lincoln, who among his time was by far the most progressive person around, who was like big in like helping free slavery, if they would have asked him at the time, like, should African Americans be able to vote, he for sure still said, no way, but they should be free, but they shouldn't be able to vote, which is like, if somebody said that now, it's like, where do you get your moral compass? But he got his from the Bible at the time. So it's like morals, they're not relative to the religion that you're with. I just think that they evolve over time.
When people say that to me, I just say that's complete indoctrination, is when you think that a moral compass comes from the book, because there's a lot of things in there that are completely unmoral, like you're talking about. I mean, you could go on for hours talking about the things that are not moral in the book. But if people just say that's the difference between good and evil, or right and wrong, you'll hear that. How do you know what's right and wrong without the Bible? I said, well, the Bible was written by man. We all agree upon that, and it was only written a few thousand years ago, and the earth is much older than that. So we know it came afterwards, regardless of how you want to view it. So just to look at it and say that is the moral, that is what is the gold standard for right or wrong, the only way that you can possibly think that is if you're indoctrinated into something. And even if you can be a strong believer, but if you're gonna tell me that you believe that everything that's based on, right, wrong, evil, sin is based on this one religion that you follow, or this one book, this one context, that's just, there's not really anywhere you can go with that conversation. They're indoctrinated into it. It's there.
Yeah. No, it's it's kind of crazy.
It's always an interesting one, though. I think I find that like offensive if people are like, well, where do you get your moral compass from?
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like, well,
what do you mean? Was I raised by goblins? Like my parents taught me nothing about morals when I was growing up? I don't understand.
I think as long as you don't like trash somebody else, like let everybody else believe whatever the heck they want to believe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
like,
and that's it too.
But like you said, when somebody gets upset because you believe something else, that is when I think it's absurd.
Yeah, and there's Christianity does a lot of good for people. There's a lot of people that are like in jail and like then they find Jesus or whatever, and that's what brings them out of being a bad person. So like they need that. I just feel like I don't know. I think I know better than to stab somebody in the neck. Like I don't need to find Jesus to know that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I tell people I think that's scary if they're basing that everything. If they're going to base all their morality on a book, because what happens if they stop believing it? If you told me you get all your morality from the Quran, I'd be like, boy, what's going to happen if he wakes up and he's a Buddhist tomorrow? Is he just going to go on a rampage and just killing people and going crazy? Cause
who's the guy that was going to kill his own son? Like for the burning bush told him to stab his son and kill him.
Okay, that's a whole.
How is that a moral
compass? No, I don't know, but you could pick out multiple stories like that where there's a lot of good lessons in there, and there's some other.
And I don't necessarily disagree with that, but
with stabbing your own son.
No, with that there's a lot of good moral lessons.
That was the last thing you said.
I think they all do. I don't know. I think anytime if you look at cults, or if you look at any religion, and I'm not saying all religion are cults, but if you look at them, you're like,
by definition, they are.
But if you look at things, you're like, oh, there's some good things in there. I was just watching something on YouTube the other night about a cult, and it was one of these, I hadn't even heard of this one. What's this cult? And I clicked on it, and I was like, this guy's saying some good stuff. But
what's his name, Jim Jones?
So it turns out, guys, you guys want to come to this meeting tomorrow night? No, but you'll look at it and you'll be like, there's some really good stuff there. I can see how people could be like, oh, this makes sense. There's a lot of crazy stuff in there as well, but I think that's the same, that if you look through that same magnifying glass in every religion, it's the same way. Every single one of them, you look at it and you're like, oh, that's some really good stuff. And then you look deeper and you're like, oh, there's some crazy stuff in there too.
Yeah.
And there's, they all deal with telling you what you're going to do in the afterlife, which nobody knows. I mean, that's the easiest bill of sale to sell anybody. I mean, if I was more intent on winning this competition,
I'd start a religion.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing to sell somebody. It's something.
Yeah.
Think about the idea of selling somebody what.
Not only do these people pay you, but the government starts paying you.
The government starts paying you. But think about this: everybody's going to die, and nobody wants to. So when you come to people and you say, "I know what's going to happen when you die, and it's going to be awesome. Follow me." I mean, that's you can't really compete with that. I mean,
I feel like there's already,
what, man, I got a house, or hey, I've got this car I can sell you. I can sell you an afterlife after you die. I mean, it's.
I feel like too many religions they've already sold the idea of like, this is what happens after you die. So you'd have to switch it up. You'd have to say, in my religion, we talk about what happens when you go to sleep. Like, you may not remember what happened to you last night when you were sleeping, but here's what happened if you don't believe in my religion.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was you and some dude with a bat, or like otherwise, I don't know. So you need to sell the idea of every time that you go to sleep, you go to like
and the
like
greatest
a heaven.
thing about it is it can't ever be proven wrong. The only way religion is proven wrong is every few years when somebody comes out and goes, the world is going to end in 1994 at this date. Yeah. I mean, we've had like 75 of those guys.
The world has ended.
They've been wrong every time. They're like, Buddha told me, or Allah told me, or this person told me, whatever they have that told them that, the world would end, and then it doesn't happen, and then they go away and they go into hiding after that. But aside from that, if you sell somebody a bill of goods on what's going to happen to them when they die, and I mean, you look at some of these religions, you pay a lot of money, you do a lot of stuff to get to this afterlife, and the person that sold you those bill of goods never has to be wrong. Because the only people
who's going to know
are dead.
Yeah, that's the perfect business plan. Honestly, I think I'm gonna
sell you this. It's awesome, but tell you what, you don't get it until you die.
I'm gonna manufacture like a headband that you put on before you go to bed, and guarantee that gives you better dreams. They're like, "Yeah, Joe, wear your headband," but I can't remember the dream I had. I'm like, too bad, because I bet it was really good.
That's why the dreams are really good, because you don't remember them. It also blocks the conveniently
I was like, did you wake up and do a morning stretch? They'd be like, yep. I'm like, that's one of the signs. That's one of the signs that you had a good dream.
Did you open your eyes?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Did you have eye boogers this morning?
Yeah, it happens every time.
That's the kind of thing that happens to my people.
You're definitely going to have some outrage after this.
Some outrage after this.
Did you guys know this is all about not drinking?
Your phone's probably already gone.
Well, it's not a live feed, so...
Anyways, we're not drinking.
Yeah, no, we got really controversial all of a sudden.
Wow.
Now this is never going.
Trump.
This podcast is never going on the news now. Crap! Now it's never going on the news. So we're doing the business idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 30 days no drinking. With that time, I'm gonna stay home on the weekends, and I'm gonna start my business that's going to crush both of you guys.
Be a religion, all right.
And then...
I like that idea, starting a religion. I could find one person, join my religion.
If you pulled that off, you would be the
champion. $10,000 to come meditate with me.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't see this podcast.
I think my business plan might be selling
listen,
you guys.
If you look at Scientology, that's how it was started. The guy said it. He told a bunch of people that. He had written like 5 or 6 science fiction novels that were terrible. And he goes, you know what? I'm done with writing science fiction. I'm just going to
write
come
a
up with a
religion.
religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's like
no, that's what I
wild
heard somebody
ones
say. I'd say like Scientology, the dude that created that, because it's not that old. It's from like the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, the dude that created it literally said, I am going to create a religion. And then he did, and now he has all of these followers.
And there's like celebrities and like all these.
So that will be it.
Ton
They'll
of
come back and people will say, they'll say, you know, Luke started a religion. I heard that on the High Five podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't real. You don't know what happens when I go to sleep.
I think my business plan is going to be to sell you guys business plans.
That's a good business nowadays too.
Yeah.
Or like coaching.
Coaching,
Yeah,
that's one
an
of the reasons why you
absurd-
mentioned Gary Vee. That's
Success
one of the
coaching?
people he's one of the people I can, like, of the big, what would you call them, prima donna, charlatan leaders of the business, entrepreneurial.
Gary Vee?
Gary Vee is one of the
But he
few that
doesn't
doesn't.
sell courses and
That's
stuff
what I
like
said.
that.
He's one of the few ones that I
He gives out a
listen
lot
to.
of free
He
information.
gives
Yeah.
out a lot of
He
free
sells marketing.
information.
He's got a marketing.
He's got a
business.
marketing agency, but he's
Agency.
like, as soon as I start trying to sell a course, it diminishes what he has. And he's very good at it. He still definitely sells a lot of stuff. But some of that stuff, like, I remember I used to listen to, what's his face? Grant Cardone. You can't listen to 30 seconds without him selling you on his
Pitching
one course.
stuff,
And if you go
yeah.
to his website,
I
he's
still
got
like Grant
He's
Cardone.
got like 300 different courses. He's got a course for everything.
Yeah, he does.
And I'm not saying that it diminishes any of his content or that he doesn't know anything or he's a scam artist. I'm not going there. I'm just saying, like, for me personally, whenever somebody's like, this is how to build your business, and then all of a sudden they stop quick and they're like, sign up for this, $99 a month, then it just takes away from everything they're going to say.
It does
before and after
discredit
that.
what you said.
And so
Yeah.
I always wonder is this person really trying to help me or are they trying to get me to sign up for their program?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Gary Vee's one of those people where he's like, I just feel like he definitely sells his stuff on the side, but I think he's really out there to help people. And
Well, I feel like he's providing enough value. Like, just with like some of the content that he puts out and some of the advice he gives, I'd be more willing to buy from like his wine company, just
Right.
because
Oh,
of
right,
Yeah.
because and he's giving you
'Cause
so
I
much
I
free,
trust him.
He's giving you
Right,
so
right.
much free information, but
Right.
that's a good model to be in too. I wonder too, because there is a lot of people. You look at some people that have really good track records and have built these big businesses and have done a lot of stuff. And you look at some of these other guys where I'm like, there was a guy watching some podcast and some guy was knocking on this guy. He goes, he's got a millionaire mastermind or whatever. So I type it in, guy I've never heard of. And he's selling courses for like, $2,500 to sign up for this mastermind. And this guy I never even heard of. And it was like, what does this guy do? And I don't even remember what his core business was. Something really ridiculous where it's like, I get that mindset too, where you get people that are so desperate to grow their business that they see somebody and
they'll spend $25
they'll
bucks
jump,
or
they'll
$2,500
jump
bucks
right
to
into
learn,
it.
or to try
It's
to
crazy,
learn.
and the most crazy thing is the amount of information nowadays with the internet is there's so much free information out there. It blows my mind.
Oh,
money
yeah.
That people are still
People
going and
spend-
You can
paying
learn how
that.
to
Yeah.
do anything that you want.
People pay so much money for coaching and courses.
I just think some of the craziest profession I can think of is being a success coach. Like
Yeah.
for you to teach someone how to be successful, you better be the most successful person
Right.
I've ever met in my entire life.
There's a lot of them that aren't though.
Oh yeah,
Well, right.
all of them.
Yeah, I would
almost.
say. Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you're not successful, but like to be a coach of it.
There's a lot of people
success
that are
coach?
much better at selling coaching and selling success than being
That's what they're good
successful.
at, is being
Yeah.
a salesman and selling
Right,
themselves.
because you sell something that you don't have to have results for. Like, if I was going to sit there and have to, if I wanted to go out and get six-pack abs, that takes a lot of work, takes dedication, it
Yeah.
would take a lot more work for me to get a six-pack than what it would be for me to tell you how to do one. Not for you to get one, but for me to tell you how to do one.
Right.
Because I can do that sitting right here. I can do that in the next 20 minutes. I could give you a good plan to give you a six-pack. That is so much easier than me going and doing it myself. Likewise, same for businesses. And it's crazy, like you know this, for real estate. Some of the biggest real estate coaches have never sold real estate.
Tom
Yeah.
Ferry,
He's one of them.
He's
Tom
the
Ferry's-
biggest real
Tom
estate
Ferry's
coach, and
the
he doesn't
biggest
even
real
have his
estate
license.
coach.
He never had
Never
it.
has.
Yeah.
Never
Wow.
has. And in his defense, his dad was a coach, so he grew up around the coaching model. And I think probably from a young age, he was like, why would I ever sell real estate and be one of these guys out here when my dad just made $400,000 last weekend for selling his book at this conference?
I'm going to be a podcast coach, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could with anything.
Hey, look, I've done 12 episodes. Let me
This
tell
is
you
the 12th
everything you know.
episode.
Yeah, I mean, and
The
and
12 pack.
I've always thought, though, for some people, I've always thought. I mean, I was a big fan of Tom Ferry. I think that he provides a lot of value, even though he hasn't sold. So I don't necessarily know that in some cases that you had to have been there and done that, but I do know that. I mean, I know, especially in real estate, I've just seen so many coaches. You look at it, you're like, wait, this guy never sold real estate, and then you start listening to some of their stuff, and you're like, people pay for this, and it's like basic generic stuff that
Yeah.
I could learn
Yeah.
getting on a phone and calling up Gage and be like, hey, I got a seller here, I got a question with, and he'd give me that same information, or I could go online and look it up, and people will pay enormous amounts of money for business coaching and success coaching.
Well, and they're looking for the shortcut too. They want to know,
Right.
hey,
That's
this,
it too,
this
yeah.
12-week course, you're going to be the best freaking real estate agent in the country.
Right.
When in reality, it takes years and years of hard work, and you have to go through the motions and actually.
Well, there's no regulation on hype,
Right.
When it comes to
right.
selling somebody something, you can just say, hey, in 7 days you're gonna have a 6-pack, and it's like, well, I mean, is that
that doesn't apply to everyone?
It's just in time for me to go out this weekend. Yeah, I can't wait to photo these girls with my new 6-pack.
Yeah, so that's a good business to jump into, and you don't need to do anything.
Coaching?
Yeah, coaching.
All we would have to do is get one client, and that would be enough to probably win the contest. If you charge $1,000 a month to be a...
what are you teaching in a month? What do you?
Oh, they pay you up front.
You could do a mastermind.
But what do you teach them?
You could put together some videos and have a 6-week course.
I'd
you
probably
get one video
do
every week.
I'd do one-on-one.
Stop about this.
I would do one-on-one coaching, but I would advertise to the people in like Virginia and Grand Rapids because they don't know who I am or what I've done.
Like, what do you tell them? Like, hey, change your life in 4 weeks. You're not just being specific.
No, I think I would do insurance sales coaching because I feel like that's there's a lot of insurance salesmen out there, and it's all kind of the same stuff. No matter what kind of insurance you're selling, it's all kind of the same stuff.
Yeah.
So I would just make up some figures of insurance stuff that I've done in a short period of time, and of the amount of money that I would lease probably. Like a $50,000 BMW, and I would roll up in like a nice suit and step out and be like, "You want to drive a car like I drive? You want to wear clothes like I wear clothes?"
You're going up to like Kevin's.
All you gotta do
insurance
is
agency.
follow this 30-step process, and then when they pay me that $1,200, and then I win the contest, I'd be like, "Sorry, change my number."
I'm gone later.
No, that would be a good way to win the contest, though.
I forget the figures. Somebody, when they were talking about that for not insurance, back to real estate, but they were saying the number that's spent every year in people in real estate sales and in training and success coaches. And I don't even remember, but it's just an insane amount. And I would imagine that insurance agents are probably very similar, where there's entire industries based on it. I mean, we get phone calls every day. So, hey, I got a website for you. Hey, I got this training for you.
Every day.
Do this
Yeah.
coaching.
You know what good success coaches are called?
What's that?
What?
Consultants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's
they don't
one
call
way of doing
themselves.
it, yeah.
They don't call themselves success coaches.
Success coach.
Like a business consultant.
Yeah, you don't have to be like if a success coach. What is it? Do you even have to get a certificate or anything, or can you just?
No.
Can I just label
I
myself
don't think
as
so.
a success coach?
If you
tomorrow?
wanted to, you could say right now that you are. Don't, because they'll see what everything we just
That was
said.
a big
You'll
thing
be
you
a
started
fraud.
seeing a lot on I know you don't have to be licensed for it. I know you see it a lot on social media and Instagram. You'll see it from people that do MLMs that'll say they're life coaches. And anytime I hear somebody say a life coach, my always question is, okay, what are you trying to sell?
Right.
Oh, well, I got these, shakes that you drink, but it's about a lifestyle, because they changed over from trying to sell people products to being like, hey, it's a lifestyle.
That's
and then
crazy.
you got this other name where it's a lifestyle coach. I know people that just by the sheer look of them, the idea that on their Instagram profiles it says coach underneath what they do is laughable. It's like, what do you do? Oh, it says here.
Unless it's
Mommy,
like baseball.
Mother, wife, life coach,
It's
adventure. It's like, I mean, come on.
Alex and I talk, but it's like when you see like a trainer at the gym, and you're like,
Oh yeah, I don't want to learn from them.
you're not even in that good a shape. It gets like, well.
Once again, it's easier to tell them how to get a six pack.
Yeah, but again, my argument, if I'm playing devil's advocate, is like if you look at Bill Belichick. In no way is he the best NFL player in the world. Like, he's not. In fact, he's fat and old. But he's probably the best coach in the world.
That's two way different things.
So that would be my counter.
That's a terrible counter, because he's showing that he's the best coach, because he says, I'm a coach. He doesn't need to be in shape for his job at all. Look at most NFL coaches are in terrible shape.
Yeah,
you know why? They have
you don't necessarily need to be in shape to be a trainer, though, like a gym trainer either.
No, but you should. I think that's a different position where you should be. Like that would like what you're equating doesn't make sense. Like if Bill Belichick was like, okay, I'm gonna be the coach of the Patriots, but couldn't coach his grandson's soccer team, or couldn't remember the plays in his head, I'd be like, okay, this is a joke. But if like somebody's job is fitness and health and working out, like if I go to work out, if I was going to get a personal trainer, there was no way I would hire somebody that didn't have a better looking body than me.
Yeah.
Or than a body that I aspired to. No way. I would walk right out of that gym. If I walked in and you had a body that either looked just like I do now or worse, I'd be
what
like,
are you going to teach?
Honestly,
yeah,
I agree.
I mean, I don't know what I would say. I'd be like,
That's-
hey, it's just
I
isn't going to
agree.
work out for me. That's way
I agree.
different. It's the same thing with like, I don't know, if you were like, I don't even know. If you were going to go get your hair cut, you walked in
Yeah.
and somebody had maybe a really bad haircut. Not like it was crazy color. It was just cut all uneven. And
Yeah.
you're like, who cut your hair? They're like, oh, I did. I did in the mirror. And you're like, oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. Or if you hire a
something
dude to
else.
teach you how to do a backflip, but he can't do a backflip.
But he comes in with a
he's-
neck brace on.
Yeah, he's like, listen, I used to be able to do a backflip,
coach.
but now I'm just an expert at telling other people how to do it.
Yeah, or when you go get your boxing lessons for this, if you go meet a guy
Yeah.
and he's got 2 black eyes,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to teach you the first thing about
I
boxing is
got in a
defense.
fight with one of the members of the Pujas,
You're going to be like, okay,
going back
I
to the
don't really, I don't really
the
know about
Panhandling
this.
Union of America. Those guys know how to throw a jab.
Where did you think this up? Have you already been thinking about this?
About what?
Panhandlers?
No, Alex brought up the poo-poos.
Yeah, we should add that in a rule. No matter what you do, even in your business, you can't like get a business loan and call that
Well,
part of
Well,
it.
no,
or a
that's,
grant.
that's not net. That's
Yeah.
not net money.
or a
though.
grant, or well, I mean, you could
It-
work it out.
No, that's debt. Because you have to pay
Okay,
that
not
back.
alone. What
We're not,
about a
okay,
grant?
Just
okay.
because it's
Are
cash
either
on
one of you
hand
guys
doesn't
gonna
mean
go
that it's
reach-
net
yeah,
money.
Either one of you guys gonna go apply at a bank?
No, not like
and try
that.
to get
But
a
I don't know.
business?
Maybe. I'm just trying to take out all the loopholes on
No,
here.
you can't go to Uncle Moneybags and.
Yeah,
ask
that's
for
what I'm saying. Hey,
20
I
hey
just-
guys, I made $20,000 by asking some old guy.
so I mean, like, hey, Grandpa, I'm gonna start this business. I just need some inventory. Can I get 20 grand? All right, sweet, I won.
That's a gray area.
What? No. F off. No way.
Okay, no. You need to show some kind of transaction. Some sort of
we doing
transaction needs to
receipts?
take place. You should have some kind of record of this. So you can't
Okay.
be, you can't, yeah, you have to. Otherwise, how are you
Okay.
going to show profitability in the business?
Okay.
Otherwise, you can just pull money from your bank. And be
What
like,
happens
yep,
at the end of this? Do
Um,
I just fire all my employees? My job.
you plan on acquiring an employee?
Do I just fire all my employees and just?
Yeah, I'm going to have to let all their pensions go all of a sudden. Yeah.
I'm sorry, William. Your wife and
Yeah,
kids are
what-
gonna stop.
One of my employees, she's on
downsizing.
pregnancy leave right now. I'm just gonna have to tell her when she has the baby that sorry you're out of job.
We're just downsizing now.
Yeah, exactly. We got budget cuts. No, I don't know.
what happens
If your business is so profitable that you want to continue doing it, by all means, continue doing
Mine's
it.
gonna be really good.
What do you mean? Yeah, you don't have to. You can't tell us.
I
we have
can't
to
tell you to
stop.
stop making money off.
Guys,
Do you know what you're gonna do yet?
No, I don't.
oh.
I genuinely don't. It's gonna be something where I'm gonna be thinking of it tonight. Like I need to brainstorm hard tonight, and then tomorrow morning I can almost guarantee, or tomorrow at some
Here's
point,
the deal, though.
I can
Even
almost
if it is
guarantee you I'll be
something-
launching.
Even if you're gonna go, here's what I think we should put in. If you're gonna go and say, hey, I'm gonna go shovel snow for my neighbor or do whatever.
Wouldn't be a good business idea because we have no snow right now. Nor will
You
we.
might not even have to.
The next 3 days we might have a little bit.
We might, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We
But
might.
not enough to shovel.
Okay, so maybe I'll go rake leaves for my neighbor, whatever. You have to make it a legit business. You have to. I'm not talking.
Like you have to go get an LLC.
No, I'm not talking that.
Oh, thank
you have to come up
God.
with you have to come up with a name for it. You have to have
Okay.
an actual business. Keep track of the records, how much money you brought in this. It
I
can't be
agree with
like,
that.
Hey, I went and mowed my old man's lawn, or I did this, or I just sold this car. Like if I did something like, let's say you were gonna do the Gary Vee, you found a bunch of old,
Garage sale thing.
sale items, and you sold them.
Baseball cards.
Then be like Gage reselling service or something. Like make it like try
Yeah.
to make it as legit of a business as you can, and not just hey, I just sold some crap out of my garage.
Yeah.
I think we'll have fun with it if we take it serious, and then I'm excited because I want to see if you can really do it, and I want to see that if I've always thought that what would I do if I had 30 days and I had to make some money.
You've always. Oh yeah. No, I have too. If I ever am at the point where like I have no money, I need money to pay rent in 30 days. What am I going to do?
Right.
I think that this is a fun way to be like, all right, let's see what you're gonna
No,
do.
I like
Right.
that idea a lot.
Or just I think we're all very happy with our jobs and our careers, but I listen to people every day tell me how much they hate doing what they want. And I always wonder that, like, why wouldn't you,
You
just
could
go
do
do something
something
yourself?
else.
Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of ways in this world that I think you can really go out and make some money, and I think it'll be kind of fun to try put my money where my mouth has been because I've said it along for the last, I don't know how many years.
Yeah,
Oh,
do
you
something
can figure
else.
it out. Yeah, you say it all the time. I mean, even we
Yeah.
all say it when we drive by your union of people standing out there with cardboard signs, and you say, you know what?
It's not my union. F off, Luke.
I always say it to them. I go, for your union, for your
The
guys,
Puas.
for your guys out there, you always say it.
all your soldiers.
I'm gonna have to fire them all at the end
I
of
go,
this,
with
at
some
the
of
end
them,
of this challenge.
you couldn't just, go get a job tomorrow. It's not always easy to find a job, but if you aren't relying on somebody else for your income and you say, you know what, I'm going to figure it out myself and I'm going to go find a job, that's something that I think is a lot more relatable. I've always thought it that way. Whenever I see somebody, whenever like, this guy needs to go get a job, I'm always like, go make some money, go figure it out, go sell something,
Yeah.
go clean somebody's car, go do whatever,
I think that it's worth mentioning that the business you start can't be affiliated with any other kind of umbrella business. So you can't like get your Uber license and then go start driving Uber. Like, yep, made $250 this month driving Uber. Like, that's not your own business.
I
Like,
think you could be,
heck,
try Uber. Try
no.
it. I'm going to blow.
If you want to start your own taxi company in these next 3 days, hell yeah, go do that.
Hey, what do you think?
Go park
here's-
outside the sports garden
speaking
every
of Uber
Saturday.
and taxis, what do you think about your boy Elon Musk?
My
And
boy.
Tesla is starting out their own Uber.
Rideshare company?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about
Brilliant.
So they are. They're starting out their own rideshare company. They're going to do it with self-driving cars. It's not going to be released until self-driving cars get
it.
the
Yeah,
green
no,
light.
I think that's,
You're
I mean,
taking
that's
out-
just
you're cutting
the,
out
So
the
what
biggest
they're going to do?
expense.
That's the natural progression of things.
They're going to, you're cutting out the biggest expense. What you'll do with your car to help you pay for your cars, you buy a Tesla, the new Model 3s are going to be able to go 1,000,000 miles, and then when you go home at night, say you got home tonight, you'll be able to walk
and your
inside.
car just takes off and brings
Yeah.
home the bacon.
You'll be able to walk inside. Everything's
What?
digital, and you'll set
Casey,
it up.
can you believe
and
that?
you'll say you just did a speech on it, like.
No,
last
I like
week
that.
maybe.
But then you can't
you'll-
regulate what's happening in your car.
Yeah.
So your car
Yeah,
goes
you-
and pick up some
new
newlyweds
one-
and they're conceiving their third baby in the back seat.
Okay,
and
first
you're at
of all,
home
well,
sleeping.
The new Model 3 has like 8 cameras on it. You saw that
Oh.
story of that girl that keyed the guy. There's like 8 cameras
Oh,
on it.
yeah, I
There's
did see
probably
that.
some inside too. So you have like the new Model 3s, cameras everywhere on them. But you'll turn it on. You'll say, I'm going to turn my Uber app on. So obviously there's a lot of people that aren't going to want that because you don't buy a $100,000 car to be like, oh, just go drive around random people.
I think that would turn into kind of
But-
a game though, like what can you get away
but-
with in a
in
driverless
an Uber?
Right, right. So that'll, but then again, like he says, with the way that Uber works is everything is review based. So you try to do something where you're in the back of a car, you're not going to get in one of them again, and then you're going to lose this ride. So first of all, if you buy a car, it'll help pay for it for people that don't. He says most people use their cars. He talks about the amount people use their cars in a week, and then versus if you put it in this driver pool. But then in any city that doesn't have enough, because you're going to have some cities where people are like, dude, I'm not letting people drive my Tesla around, so you're just not going to apply
Yeah.
for it. They're going to put them there. So like they already have their cities picked out, their first like 10, 12 cities that they're going to do. And if they don't have enough cars for the amount of drivers, he's like, we're just going to put them in those cities.
like Lyft
So you
or
don't-
I mean,
you-
like Bird.
Like Bird, yeah.
Like
but it's
Lime
gonna,
and
it'll,
Bird.
But it'll be
They're just gonna drop off.
it'll just
Teslas.
be a Tesla, yeah. And of course you're gonna want to use it. Like if there was a Tesla in Duluth for that and it was like Uber, I would sell my car. And I'd be like, I don't need a car anymore. Unless I'm going to the cities, I would just be sitting in the back of a Tesla going everywhere.
And
Sometimes
you're
you
like
hear-
riding in the driver's seat.
Well, that's what he
Yeah, I
says.
am.
He goes, we're gonna have ones that are certain driverless, and as soon as we can, he goes, right now the ones that we're building, we have to have pedals and steering wheels in there. He goes, but we're making them all in a way that we can
Just
we can
two bench
take 'em out.
seats. Boom, boom.
He goes, we're making them all in a way we can take them out, where you'll be able to have 3 in the
Yeah.
front, 3 in the back. There won't be any steering wheel in there at all.
That's one of those things you hear it and you go, "Yep, that's next." Like
Yep.
it's not like, "Man, this could be the next." Like, "Yep, that's next."
That's
Like,
next.
That's
Yeah,
it.
what
Yeah.
about like if you're at, I don't know, you're at like a family reunion or something, reunion and you're sleeping, and all of a sudden Grandpa has a heart attack and your car is 25 minutes away.
You shouldn't have put it in there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good
the
point.
part of the shirt-
I mean, you don't know what kind of emergency you might
Well,
have.
Your
I
car
don't know
could
if
be-
that was the case and you're somewhere and there's
Then
like
you just
one car
call
there,
another Uber
Then
Lyft.
you call.
That's, hopefully you get your car, but maybe not.
Wait, it's gonna go 25 miles an hour.
The idea of looking out your window, drinking a cup of coffee, and just seeing your car pull away would just be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
I forgot to turn this app on.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
way different
I'm gonna
than
be late to work.
10 years ago.
Okay, so that kind of leads into. I think we're getting pretty long on time. Casey, what are we at for time right now?
109.
Oh, okay, we're fine,
Good.
actually. That's not
Yeah.
too bad. That kind of leads into my special news for today, which is also something I do every day. And for those of you who are still watching, I love you. But also, you know what's coming at special news of the day. And special news today is, I shared this on my Instagram yesterday, Jeff Bezos said his company Blue Origin was partnering with a couple of other companies, and they are, within the next 4 years they are going back to the moon, except this time they are staying there. Those are his words. He said, and he said it with a straight face, he said, "We're going back to the moon, and this time we are staying there." What do you? And so I assume that
Stupid.
means
Why?
he's building a moon station.
Why?
Why do we have an international space station?
That's way
I
different
think
than being on the moon.
I think it was like an ego thing, wasn't it? Like we were having a battle with Russia.
Could have been.
That's why it was the whole thing. They're coming out with a Netflix series about it. The whole.
About us
The
going
space
to
race?
us
The space
going to
race.
the moon or the
the
international
space
Well,
space
they got to
station?
space
Space,
first,
yeah.
and then it was the race, I think, to Mars.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying we have
Sorry.
an international space station.
I know, but it's different because it just doesn't. Nothing needs to be on Mars. Leave Mars alone. I don't know why.
No, the moon.
Or the moon. Sorry, that's even the Mars, the moon, all of it. Just leave it alone because there's enough stuff going on here that we can use. And I'm not ever want to tell somebody what to do with their money or their resources or anything or their time.
$109 billion.
Or their time, right. And
thought
I
you cut-
think
did you get that cut in half?
Uh-huh.
here I'm going to do what I always knock on people for doing, telling people what they should be doing with their money, telling other people what they should do with their money. And right now I'm doing that. I'm just telling that Jeff Bezos is a stupid idea for him to take all that money and be like, I'm going to go to the moon and I'm going to stay there. Like, you know what? A few years ago he was building islands and then he was going to build this utopia somewhere else where it was like I don't know if that was him or Elon Musk that was trying to build then underground.
That was
and then,
Elon- that was Elon Musk.
He
All these
isn't
guys-
trying to. He did it actually.
Okay, he did it actually. Oh, they're just
It's called the Boring Company.
And they also sell
Still,
flamethrowers.
it's waste of time and
And
a
hats.
waste of time and a waste of money. They should be. There's way better things he could
Well,
be doing. with
yeah,
his money.
so
Dude,
what-
the amount of money
That
he has, he could really
is
be
nuts.
doing. He could be really doing some cool stuff, and he's gonna go do what? Go up
So
to,
building a station on the moon is not cool.
Yeah, but like, what's the purpose of it? Like, what are we? I'm not against it, but like, how are we benefiting from it? Like, is it just like he wants his fucking?
So now I don't
ego
want to
stroked?
sound cliche, but I could use that same argument. Someone probably said the same thing to Christopher Columbus back in the day. Chris, what's the reason for sailing across the ocean? We have everything that we need right here in England. And all of a sudden, boom, he sails across the ocean, finds America.
He didn't. It wasn't that. How does that necessarily mean that was such a good thing?
Because here we are living in America.
We could be living in Europe right now.
Yeah, then it would suck.
How would it suck?
I don't know, but I'm glad
That's
I'm
the
here.
equivalent of saying like, what if he would have went instead of going to somewhere else? Like the idea of him coming here and finding this place. It's a great.
I don't think that you
can
can argue that
It's a
America
great-
wasn't a good find. Like, I don't think you can argue that.
Think about all the Indians being massacred and all the violence.
There's other good finds. That's very true. But there's other good finds. I think that there's other good pieces of land. You think this is? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's really.
I live in
you
northern
wouldn't-
Minnesota. The land here isn't all that great. Like it's not like
You wouldn't know the difference if you like it. It wouldn't matter. Like you,
It wouldn't know the
I see
difference.
what you're saying. If you were born in England, you wouldn't know the difference
'Cause
between
what-
here and America.
what if-
But well, here's the thing: is America was inhabitable. The moon, you can't.
My
you
thing,
can't just
my
like
thing
step
about
out of
that
your-
was
It's a
that's
challenge.
The Christopher Columbus thing. I'll say my thing with that is America's not about the land, the dirt. It's about the people. It's about everybody that came here after Columbus.
Start
had
with that
found
like
it
that
and came here.
rebellious culture of like
So
we
I
did
think-
it, we
yeah,
split off,
well,
let's do
right.
this. We're America.
They didn't split
Yeehaw.
off still for another, I don't know, few
200 or 300
after
years,
that.
yeah.
Right, but I think if let's say that would have happened in Africa or Asia or anywhere, like I think it's the people that then came and said, hey, we're gonna have our independence and we're gonna fight for it. I think that's what makes America great, and that's what I don't think it would have made a difference. But if we're talking about comparing other continents to the moon, I mean, I don't.
It's a leap. Don't get me wrong. It's a leap.
You can't even breathe up there.
That's what I'm saying. Is you can't.
Yet.
What I worry about.
Has
with it-
anyone tried
I
breathing
think
on the
that
moon
a lot
though?
of I think the islands, the underground stuff, the one guy from
The Boring Company stuff is a good idea.
I think all that stuff is about people that are really, really wealthy, that know that eventually the world as we know it isn't sustainable, and whether you want to say it's climate change or you want to say it's the income inequality, whatever you want to say it, eventually it's just not sustainable to keep up the way it is. And I think that people like Bezos know that. And if he's got enough money, he's like, well, let's just go put a space station up in the moon, so he's got a spot to go to, or
You wouldn't-
or
you
Elon Musk.
You're telling me you wouldn't go to a Camp Snoopy on the moon
I know that
if you had disposable money?
even if you had enough money, even when
Let's say
when that
money
comes
isn't an
out,
object, you wouldn't go to Camp Snoopy on the
because
moon?
of the cost of it, even now that there's the big thing making civilian space travel like a thing, it's not ever going to be in my wheelhouse. Something I'll ever be able to afford.
Maybe.
I mean, even we're talking like you'd have to be a multi-billionaire a few times over to be like, yeah, I'm just going to go hang out on the moon for a little bit.
Maybe.
And then go up there and hang
There's
out
like
in
a bar
space
up there.
station there. Yeah, I mean, that's probably what you look at like the space station. I mean, that's not like like Gage was saying, it's not like a small thing. I mean, I could see them setting it up there and having even like a retreat up there, and you'd be like, oh, this is where all the world elite goes. We go to this hangout on the moon, and people are just darting back and forth, and then anytime they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
shit
feel
goes
like
down,
it's- I feel
shit
like
goes
it's
down on
such-
Earth, just hop in a
Right.
jet, and
It's
just
not that big a deal.
not that big
You
a deal
get
for
pulled
them.
over on your way home from Venus after you've had a few drinks. Excuse me, sir. Are you doing this interplanetary driving buzz?
Yeah,
I feel like there's such a big difference though, because like one little mistake, you get rid of, like you kill everybody. Something goes wrong, they run out of oxygen, whatever it might be.
well,
like
they just sent a
You
group
could
of
swerve
women up
into
to
a
space,
semi
so
on a Highway 35, and that's
Group of-
just as deadly.
a group of women just did it. It can't be that hard.
Oh, man.
no,
Easily the most controversial thing that has been said.
I just wanted to ease off the religion topic a little bit.
Okay.
That was the harshest
I think I
landing
feel a
I've
little bit,
ever had.
yeah.
You just went fourth gear into a
Take some
semi.
tension off of it.
Yeah, I hope you don't plan on finding any romance over this next dry 30, because that's out. That is out.
Guys, we spent like 15 minutes talking about not drinking, and we just talked about.
No, I think
religion
we covered the challenge pretty well. I think that right now we should do kind of a recap of everything that we need to do,
Okay.
so that we and anyone who is watching this right now is totally clear on what is involved. So, what we're doing, we're calling it the Dry 30, hashtag Dry 30. I hope that many of you actually do it with us. I think that would be fun if we had a following of people that were also doing it. But so it's a Dry 30. You cannot have a sip, not even a lick or a snort of alcohol in the next 30 days.
Okay.
Can't do it.
But you can.
You can, but so
What are the
here's the
consequences?
deal. So each of us, we're choosing a charity of our choice that we choose.
Wow, this is
And
rough. Engage.
So we each are for sure donating $100 to that charity, whether we drink or do not drink over the next 30 days. But let's say that I drink in the next 30 days, I then have to not only donate $100 to my charity, but I have to donate $100 to the charity that these two choose as well. And then the third thing, and probably the most interesting, is that each of us over the next 30 days, our challenge is to start a business and make money on that business. And whoever's business is most profitable at the end of those 30 days is the winner. And what do they win? I don't know. But we'll get it figured out.
Like a beer from everybody else or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. We'll figure
So that's
it out.
the
I mean,
challenge.
it's irrelevant. It's bragging rights is all it is.
Hashtag Dry 30.
All right.
Do you guys have any comments, concerns,
I'm excited.
expectations?
I'm excited. I'm not.
Good to go.
I don't want to say I'm not going to drink, but I don't think I'm going to drink.
I'm not going to drink.
I know.
It's-
I
it's
won't
gonna-
drink.
it's gonna take
That's easy.
some-
I wouldn't have drank tonight. I would have already been a weekend. Had you
I think
not
the thing
forced
that's
this on
most
me.
exciting for me is the business thing.
Yeah.
No,
No,
that's
that's-
fun.
That's almost
exciting and
a better
I'm
challenge
excited.
in and of itself.
No, that's a way more challenging. It's the short period of time is what. Yeah.
I'm excited. Like I said, I jumped up and I have my idea in my head. I kind of want to spill the beans already, but I'm not going to
Do
do
it.
it.
What?
Not-
do it. Do
not
it.
doing
Now you have to.
No.
Casey says
no,
spill it.
No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'll-
Are you gonna? When do you think you'll have your idea done by? And when are you gonna tell?
Well, I would
what
do
your
it if
idea
everybody
is?
else did it, but I'm not going to do it right now.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I know
got any
exactly
ideas?
what I'm gonna do.
Okay,
Really?
Luke's
Yeah.
fucking starting a religion. I should have read the
Luke's
F-bomb
starting a
there.
religion. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So I like the idea of like doing something in service, right?
Yeah.
And I don't lawn care that's too much manual labor. I'm not gonna do any of the manual labor anyway. But then you have equipment that you have to buy. So when you do
Yep.
something in the service industry without equipment, I think I'm
Gigolo?
gonna start a cleaning company. And
Start
I
a
know
cleaning
if
company?
I'm basing it on the I only know one cleaning company in town right now, and I'm using that as my standard. And I know I can beat them out. You know what I'm talking about.
Who the cleaning company is?
Yeah, I said I only know one cleaning company in
Oh.
town, and I know if that's the standard that I have to go with, I can get a couple
Oh
jobs.
yeah, the people who don't think that it's okay to not change out trash bags and just pour them into other trash and leave
It's
it.
remarkable to me.
So then you have the world's stinkiest trash bag. Yeah, no, I get it. You
You
can
get the
just
same trash bag for
But you're
3
gonna
years.
so you're gonna go out and like build clients in 30 days? And you got-
Yeah, just try to get some one-time cleans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it wouldn't take many. Like I said,
I
if
don't
you can
need-
make
you don't need-
$1,000 in the next 30 days, you're probably in the running in a big way.
I don't need any equipment.
Yeah.
I just gotta find somebody who wants to clean, and I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna get you some jobs. Go clean.
It'll be
I
interesting.
think, I don't know, it might
Hit up-
change.
I might be
That was-
up
I
all
just
night
thought about
tonight.
that when you said it. That was the first thing I thought of, but this could all change by
How much you guys think you can make
10
in a
o'clock
month?
tonight.
How much money you guys think you can
I
make?
think
in
I
a
can
month?
make $1,000 more than what Gage makes.
That's a load.
Dave just has no idea.
No way. I bet I can make $700.
That's pretty
How
reasonable.
much do you think you'd get for cleaning an average 2,000 square foot house?
200.
That's a going rate, 200?
I don't know, maybe 150.
I feel like if you're just starting, it's your first house, they might be like kind of hesitant. They might only give
Probably-
you. They might only give you $100.
Probably $75 for every 1,000 square feet, maybe.
Where are you getting these numbers from?
Does it sound wrong?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound right. I know that.
What?
Did you ever use cleaning companies?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
I've used detailing companies. I know they make too much money. Detail my car for an hour, and I have
You
to
know,
pay them
that's
like
another thing.
$7,000.
There's nobody in town that does that.
Yes,
There's
there-
people
yes,
that
there
do,
is.
but they're always booked up.
I might start a pawn shop.
Just sell stolen stuff all the time.
I'm gonna buy stolen
Stay
stuff
away
for
from them.
cheap.
What? You gonna start a pawn shop? No, that's a terrible idea.
Wait, well, I
Uh,
mean, you can't shoot down his idea. Man.
I'm going to, because you need to. Yeah, right.
What is
Go
this?
do that.
This might be his religion.
I might
Yeah.
start a fund, but it'll be a Bitcoin fund, and it'll be a cryptocurrency fund.
You starting a new coin?
You invest. Nope, I'm not smart enough to do that. It's a 28-day fund. So everyone gives me their money. I take 1% of it, and then I give them the profits minus my extra 1% of the
So
profits.
it'll really be just like a Ponzi scheme, like a month-long Ponzi scheme.
I have every intention of making those people money.
What are you gonna? You're taking.
There will
money,
be some disclosures they sign.
You're taking their money and you're investing it.
Yes, into cryptocurrency.
Okay.
I want to do something that I could be making money by. So I'm going to be gone. This is really dumb that we're doing this now too. Is I'm going to be gone for the next 10 days.
You said
And
you're going to
then-
concerts, right?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I'm
I
gonna
can think
be-
you can think of some ideas there. dude.
Yeah,
That
right.
way.
I bet you can make some money at concerts.
People always got cash, and they always are willing to spend it.
What? Yeah. What would be something to sell at a concert?
I'm not going to tell you. I know what
No,
I would
bet
do
you
if
have
I
some
went
good
there.
ideas. Tell me. Fill me in. No, but here's the deal.
Just
So
think about, all you got to do is think about what every person has at a concert. What does everyone have at a concert? Sell that.
a cell phone.
You're not gonna sell cell phones.
That's tough. I mean, you're not going to beat Apple. You're not going to beat Verizon.
Luke's in his basement making a phone and putting it together to sell it.
No, I want to do something.
I
where
would just say, like, when you go out or when you go to a concert, what's one thing that you always think, wish I had an extra one of those right now?
can, girl,
That would be
That's also
a pimp.
prostitution.
That would be a
a
pimp.
woman next to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you mean?
Like food, beer, water.
Food, beer, water, cigarettes.
You don't.
I fucking want
There's
cigarettes.
concessions.
Well, a lot of
stand for
people-
all
a lot of
those
people
Think
smoke
about when you're in the
cigarettes.
mosh pit, and then you don't want to walk all the way back to the bar and lose a spot or something like that.
things. Yeah, I mean that. If you wanted to walk around selling cigarettes, I want to be making money early on in this, so that you have. I
get
think
good,
the long.
yeah.
I think you.
So
gotta
that
play
you
this
can
two ways.
leverage that
Either-
money into making more money.
No,
into
I
the-
think you play it your two ways where you like if you're doing something like low profit margins. Say I was doing that. Hey, I'm going to sell cigarettes at a concert.
So does it have to be
You'd
one
wanna
thing?
You'd have to sell a lot of them.
It needs to be under one.
So here's what I'm thinking: is like you're only going to 2 concerts. So if your business idea is you're gonna sell Dr. Pepper to people in the mosh pit with a $2 markup,
You can't come home and also be a house cleaner.
right?
That's two
what-
businesses.
do you think
Right,
so? Yeah.
no, I'm not, I wouldn't do the first one that you talk about, selling stuff at a concert. I'm only gonna do one business, and it would have to
Right.
be one that you could at least be up and running for 2 weeks before this contest is over. You know, that would be it, or else you'd have to do like high ticket sale items, where you're like, okay, I'm gonna just
You
try
sell
to make
one of these.
And
one of
you're
these
done.
and make my nut, you know, by the time this is done.
I've never heard that before.
Make my nut.
Make my financial nut.
I've
make
I've
my
heard it.
nut.
I've heard it not.
Squirrel it away.
Not-
No, I don't know. It'll be interesting. It's gonna be a lot of thinking tonight.
125.
We'll do a lot of thinking about it tonight, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
We better
When
wrap
are
this
you gonna-
bad
when are
boy
you
up.
gonna-
We're
When do
getting-
we get to know the goods and what you have snuck off in the middle of the podcast to go right down over there?
I'll
It was
tell
such
you-
a good
I'll
idea,
tell
but
you.
you thought you were gonna
I'll-
forget it
I'll tell
before
you.
now and then?
Well, I wanted to put it down in concrete.
I'm kind of starting to wonder if that isn't BS, you sneaking off like that before we even get started.
Yeah.
I think we should have to subtract $500 from your net proceeds right now.
You got a head start.
I'm only gonna make 100.
You got a head start. What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
I'm not telling.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
We're getting long.
It-
on this
it's gonna-
bad boy,
it's
though.
gonna
We gotta
involve,
wrap it up. Let's high five it out. Good luck, everybody.
Triple
I
high
hope you
five's kinda
enjoyed.
weird.
I hope you enjoyed your beers, cause
They're the last ones
'Cause
for
we're done.
30 days.
don't forget, Alex, you don't have an Instagram, so
Building the Dream Duluth.
building the dream to do.
We're a
Why do you not have
value-first
Instagram?
company.
Yeah. Follow
first,
Luke Hansmeyer on Instagram. And you got any businesses you think about starting soon that you want to promote?
Cleaning, call me.
Filming. Any filming?
Call me.
Look
We do
up
all
Casey.
types.
Look up
Commercial,
Casey Flips.
residential, all of it.
Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Keep it tight.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a terrible ending. Keep it tight.
Keep it
Yeah.
tight. Get it right.
Guys, I ate that whole bowl of Gardettos.